Hi everyone! I have been having some issues with music copyrights from My Hero Academia. So what I'm going to do, I'm still going to upload, but I'm going to put the reaction separate from the review. So the videos will start as they normally do, and then I'll put in some kind of placeholder just saying, go watch the reaction, which I will post on my Patreon. It'll be free, just like it is here. So you'll just go over to Patreon to watch the 10-minute max reaction, and then you would come back here to YouTube to see the review as I normally do. So that'll be what I'm doing from now on. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I hope you guys stick around. Welcome to Two Letters Reactions. I'm your host, Tasha. Today we're going to be watching Boku no Hero Academia Season 3, Episode 6. So last time on Boku no Hero, we had Midoriya. He managed to get Koto to safety. He took him over to Eraserhead, and Midoriya and Eraserhead had an interaction talking about how Eraserhead gave the okay for students now to attack and to fight. We have several different locations happening right now of like these student battles with the Vanguard Action Squad. We know that the villains are after Bakugo. But thus far, they haven't attempted really to capture him or anything, so we'll see if maybe that's going to happen in this episode. The main fights we had, there was Mandalay versus Spinner and Magane, I think the gun guy is his name. Midoriya showed up and helped her out. And then we had the fight with Shoto, Bakugo, and whatever the guy's name with the teeth that looked like bandages that... the creepy one that, like, might have eaten Ragdoll. So, but there was that fight. And then we also met, was it Mustard? Like, the weirdest named character. What the heck is Mustard? The one who could create, like, the gas, the poisonous gas. So there was that fight between a couple students. And, yeah. And so we ended the episode, really, with Dark Shadow out of control. Which, again, hurt my soul. So let's just jump in and see if Midoriya can help out Tokoyami and Dark Shadow. That was really good. I liked how at the beginning something that really stood out to me was how Midoriya was kind of given this option to either save Kachan or help Tokoyami. And for a moment, like, I like how the show takes something that you would think is so black and white, like either or, here's your options, really kind of stark contrast. And then but it's not like an either or. I wasn't expecting him to come up with a plan that would actually let him help them both. And I think, now it's one of those things where Midoriya is so powerful, right? And he's going to become, as powerful, more powerful eventually than All Might. But it's not just the physical strength. He's actually incredibly intelligent. He's able to come up with, these plans on the spot. Because even there toward the end of that episode, I put a note just saying that he always is coming up with plans. And he's doing it under really dire circumstances, really stressful circumstances. And he's able to just, like, really quick, be like, okay, here's what we got to do. You got to make us float, and then throw us, and blah, 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 really, really quick. And I think that it's something that makes his character really, really interesting is that there's not just kind of one side to him. He's a very dynamic character, which, on top of, like, being driven as a true hero, it just gives him all this extra strength and capabilities. I had a note also about how I find it so interesting that it seems like almost, 2 or 3 characters, 3 or 4 even, from the Vanguard Action Squad, all looked up to Stain. And I didn't really realize up until this episode how many characters, like, idolized him. And I mean, even within, like, our own, the fandom for My Hero Academia, I feel like there were a lot of people really, really liked Stain. And so it's interesting just to see, even in the world of My Hero Academia, within the show itself, that there were a lot of characters that apparently really looked up to him. So Himiko, the girl that takes the blood, was talking about how, like, she had a flashback thinking about him, and how she, I guess, loved him, or he was a crush, or something to that effect. And then developed a crush on Midoriya. What the heck? Okay. Like, but she commented on it. Spinner, so the turtle, like, talked about how, he was going to take up Stain's mantle, I guess. And to me, it's just sort of interesting because that's such the opposite of Tomura. So Tomura, the guy with all the hands, like the leader guy. Stain was such an kind of opposite to Tomura. So it's interesting how so many of the villains, it seems like they don't, like, nobody talks about looking up to Tomura. Nobody is, like, idolizing Tomura. They're just sort of doing what he says. Whereas they're saying, oh, Stain, want to be like Stain. We also had, so I got another name. Moonfish is the guy with the teeth, which is so creepy. But I mean, it's a cool character. It's an awesome character. It's just so creepy. And then Mr. Compress, which is the guy that is like the magic guy. And I guess he just compresses people into little marbles, it looked like. Or those are just little marbles, I guess, that contained... He captured Bakugo and he captured Tokoyami. So I guess he just can compress them into tiny marble ball things. Yeah, so those were some of the characters that I wrote down. So anyway, this episode definitely took turns that I wasn't expecting. There was some stuff in it that, just like what I mentioned before about the options and Midoriya doing both things to save both characters, stuff like that I just wasn't anticipating. And then also, part of me wasn't expecting Bakugo to get caught this quickly. I thought maybe we'd have 1 or 2 more episodes before he gets captured, but I'm hoping, if I had to, like, project what's going forward, what I'd like to see in the next episodes, I'm hoping that that this is not just the end of it and, oh, the villains vanish and that's it. And like, we're going to have some random episodes before we tackle the villains stealing Bakugo and all that. I'm hoping that it's just sort of continuous, that from this point, they just immediately are going to keep chasing the villains, because those two, which I didn't write, those 2 characters at the end, the girl that she attached I'm assuming it's a tracker to the Nomu. So I'm assuming they're fully capable right now of going after the villains and pursuing them that way and trying to get Kacchan back. So it'll be interesting to see if that's like a short-term goal that only lasts a few episodes, or if it's going to drag out for a while where they're going to be chasing Kacchan, trying to save him, kind of thing. Curious. And I want to see how the Master plays into this, because I'm assuming at some point the Master is going to show up in this season, probably. Anyway, thanks for watching the review, and I will see you guys at episode 7. If you want to check out any of the early release when I post stuff ahead of time, or if you want to see the full-length reactions, or you want to be part of Pole Patrol, you can go check out my Patreon links in the description. All right, so I'll see you guys at episode 7.